One evening while editing a video for a client, I suddenly realized editors not improving their speed this year will end up killing their editing career. But why is that the case, and why specifically this year? I'll come back to that. So if you stick around with me for the next few minutes, I'll not only show you how I doubled my editing speed, which you can do as well if you avoid these same mistakes that I once did, but also why improving your editing speed is a required superpower for any video editor to have this year. Let's go. Hang on. Is this whole video just because of AI? Well, actually not. At least not entirely. AI is becoming extremely powerful, and it sure is a good reason to be prepared. But it's not the entire picture. Alright, well, what is it then? Why should I improve my editing speed this year? Well, there are 2 points as to why, with the last one being the most important. First off, there are more editors than ever entering the field right now, with it only seeming to grow year after year. So by being reliable, quick and effective, you'll stand out so much more right now, even as a complete beginner. Secondly, which is in my opinion the most important point, take a look at this video. Yeah, I know, looked awesome, but what do you think of the editing? What, not impressed? Well, yeah, you're right, it's literally just a reverse effect. But I used to make a lot of these years back when I was way younger. And back then, when I showed it to people, they would say, damn, how did you edit that? What editing tool did you use? That's how low the bar was. But today, technology has advanced so far, especially in recent years. New editing tools have popped up everywhere that have made it easier than ever to make decent looking videos. And a lot of them are even free. All this means that the required editing skills and knowledge is much higher. And here's the thing, it also takes more time. So to keep up as an editor today, and in the future, we would have to find ways to lower the time spent, without sacrificing the quality and editing expertise we can provide. And luckily, there are so many ways we could do this. AI is one of them, but I'll be saving that for a future video. Instead, I'll be showing you some incredible productivity hacks and tactics that drastically speed up my editing. And in order to use these, there is something we need to take care of. Imagine paddling upstream like crazy against a strong current, but despite your best efforts to move forward as fast as possible, the force working against you makes all your advancements insignificant in the end. Let's instead make the river look like this, which allows us to go like this. And we can do that by avoiding these specific mistakes that I once made. Mistakes that I'd like to call time suckers. Alright, so this first mistake I made was pretty obvious. I'll give you 10 seconds to spot out. Okay, it's right there. Every time you get a notification or just feel slightly bored, it'll pull you in and then out of focus. Even if you were just checking a notification and thought, nah, not important right now, and went back to editing, it'll take you several minutes to get back into that flow that you were in just before. Lock your phone in a box, hide it somewhere safe, write down the coordinates, then hide those somewhere as well. Don't let it steal your precious human time and focus. Alright, I'm interested to know how relatable this second mistake is, because I'm actually not sure. Or have you ever made a really fancy edit with a cool animation, sound effects, and thought, yo, this is so cool. Let me see that again. Then you make some slight adjustments, and you're like, I wonder how the edit looks like now. And then you make some adjustments, and then you do it again. And again. You see the problem here? This needs to stop. Or, hang on, don't get me wrong. There is a time and place for rewatching and reevaluating your work. It can make your edits way better, but you shouldn't rewatch it just because you feel like it. It's essentially just a hidden form of procrastination. A smart tactic I've come up to avoid this is what I'd like to call the purple filter. It's a purple color matte that you can apply to your timeline over the parts that you've finished editing. You only remove this once you're done with your project or actually have a plan for re-evaluating your work. So every time you habitually go back and rewatch something because you just feel like it, whoops, it's all purple. Better get back to editing. Alright, so time suckers suck. See if you sometimes yourself spot similar or surprising suckers sucking up a significant time from you. And now that we got that river calmed, let's transition to techniques that truly turn our editing task into time triumphs today. Ready to be an editor superhero? Alright, then here's the thing every superhero needs. File sorting. You might think you know what to do here, but there's one mistake I made when doing this that you should avoid as well. I recommend having a file for icons, music, sound effects, visuals, and backgrounds, the usual stuff. And bonus point if you have a folder for each of your clients or YouTube channels that you have. Then, when you're about to edit, just drag these folders into the project and here we go, ready to be used anytime. Such a time saver. But the mistake I did was, whenever I found a new assets for a project, I had to each time find the right folder to put it in, and then the folders just get more and more messy with stuff that likely is just assets that I'm only ever going to use once. And that just ultimately made it harder to find stuff, and it ended up taking more time than giving. Instead, when you start a new project, make a specific folder for that project and save everything in there. It also makes it much easier when you want to find and use assets from a previous project. Here is another must-do for video editors. Whenever I wanted to change the speed of the clip, I right-clicked and found the option that let me do so. Whenever I wanted to nest a sequence, I right-clicked and found the option that let me do so. Whenever I felt hungry, I right-clicked and was set there was an option and that my phone was locked in a box. But for every one of these actions, there was a shortcut I could have used instead, including the last one. It might just have saved a few seconds, but combined over time, they compound and can make your edit incredibly fast. I mean, look down. There are so many buttons, but how many do you actually use for editing? Think about it. This is essentially your instrument. The trick here is learning one new shortcut for each video product you edit. And if there aren't any appealing shortcuts anymore, make your own shortcuts. And remember, usually your mouse has extra buttons at the side as well. Take advantage of them. Also, here's another hack that is very powerful. You see, a lot of times, if we set ourselves 5 hours to do something, it takes us 5 hours. If we only allowed ourselves to take 2 hours to do something, it takes us 2 hours. This is known as Parkinson's law. However, make sure you don't have so little time it hurts your overall quality. That is not our goal with any of these methods I've shown you. As I said, it's to deliver the same quality by using less time. So when one evening while you're editing, you suddenly realize, not improving my editing speed this year was the second best decision I've made, right beneath finding this channel. Because I will keep showing you how to become an amazing editor in every aspect, so make sure you subscribe.